What is going on, everyone? It's your boy 3G. We are back with another video, and I don't mind the Mets jersey and the Knicks hat. You know what I'm saying? It's colorway matches. Fuck it. But no, let's talk about FouseyTUBE. I just watched this video. It says saying goodbye to FouseyTUBE or something like that, leaving YouTube or whatever, and it says suicide and hate. And just to sum up his video, he pretty much expressed his success. He talked about what he's accomplished and everything from money to the budget films to the films that he's been a part of, to everything he has created, his platform and all this other stuff, materialistic stuff, not in the sense that he was trying to gloat about it, but just pretty much explaining how he has acquired and accomplished all these things, these great things in life, but he still feels depressed and suicidal. And I can understand that, and I respect that, because that's one thing I think a lot of the youth and a lot of people need to understand, is that even with all this success, you can still suffer from some sort of mental illness. Even if you had like some prior depression, sometimes this success does not help that, and it does not cure it. I don't know, for whatever reason, there's some imbalances, there's something goes on, and it just does not heal the wounds that you feel inside. Now, that being said, let's talk about Fousey real quick. I just want to say, I love this dude's content. When he was doing the prank videos, when he had all these inspirational experiment videos that just really meant a lot to a lot of people. I grew up watching FouseyTUBE, right? But you started seeing a little bit of a decline when he started doing questionable things, and you have to ask yourself, is it for attention? Is it legit? Or was it pretty much a cry for help because, you know, you were struggling with depression and all the other stuff, and you were just hoping to see people in the comment section kind of uplift your spirit? You know, we don't know 100%. I don't like the excuse that your mental illness is making you do all these things. It can happen. You know, maybe people who suffer from depression or something like that, they have a habit of just wanting to buy so much shit, you know, because at the moment it probably helps them cope with whatever it is they're going through. However, you do have a choice whether or not you want to upload the shit you do on YouTube. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not one to fall pity for anyone, but you kind of did this to yourself. I like FouseyTUBE a lot, but the fact that he has such a negative stigma behind him because he's gotten himself involved into a lot of bullshit, that's pretty much his fault. You can say mental illness played a role. What I would say is that he allowed his actions to get the best of him. He took part in a lot of shit, got involved in a lot of dumb shit, and it kind of triggered more of whatever he was going through inside. And I knew something was wrong the minute he got his ass on Keemstar's channel. Listen, your mental illness does not stray you towards Keemstar's channel and Drama Alert. If you was getting exposed for something, you should have left it alone, but you didn't. If you was getting called out for something else by another bigger creator, should have left it alone. Homeboy, you was on the Ellen show, you was on movie films. You don't need to be a part of any of the bullshit. The fact that you allowed yourself to get on Drama Alert and you look like a damn fool, you have officially allowed yourself to look bad, and you had a negative stigma behind your name. And I know a lot of you are gonna probably defend him, but I don't give a shit. The thing is, I respect anyone who's going through mental illness, but you have choices, and the fact that he chose to use platforms such as that, No Jumper, and all these other platforms where he's preaching certain things, and for the most part, I understand what he's saying on like No Jumper or when he was in his concert. However, not a lot of people are going to kind of relate with that because you have such a negative presence behind your name, because you've gotten yourself involved in a lot of bullshit. You know, for example, even with that Russian dude, Vitalize TV, whatever his name is, the fact that you had this whole shit with Keemstar and y'all was talking about drugs and hookers and all this other shit, you got yourself involved in that. And what also ended up happening is it triggered your depression and your anxiety because you started seeing so much negative feedback from your comment section. You know what I'm saying? So at the moment, you would question, is YouTube good for people who suffer from mental illness? I would say it's half and half, because it actually helps a lot of people, but you still have the ability and you still have the choices of, from what I would assume is, you would want to make the right choices on YouTube. You don't want to upload certain shit to YouTube, but you did. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people you grew with on YouTube, but out of a lot of people, it was unfortunate that you decided to take part in certain things. Now, I may be missing something here. There may be some gaps that I'm missing that maybe it wasn't his fault, but at the end of the day, I'm here to say it sucks, but it's reality that Fousey, no matter what you're trying to do music, or you're trying to do these concerts, you're trying to preach about how now you found yourself in God and this, that, and the third, people are not going to look at you like, oh my God, or should I say the majority of people aren't going to look at you like, oh my God, man, he's the voice of us. They're going to look at you and say you're crazy, and that's fucked up, because I think that's disrespectful to call someone who's suffering from mental illness crazy. But because you have so much negative shit behind you, I think it kind of like eliminates people from like really wanting to know what's going on with you, and they're just gonna say, okay, he's crazy. So it's fucked up that a lot of people would dismiss his mental illness. Me, I understand his mental illness, but that doesn't kind of like escape the fact that he has gotten himself into a lot of shit. He wants to leave YouTube again. He's talking about how, you know, he contacted Drake, or now this time with LeBron, he wanted LeBron to get involved. He's sounding like Kanye West. And what is happening right now with Kanye West? Kanye West has a negative stigma behind his name because of the stupid ass comments he said. However, Kanye West was just so uneducated with, I guess, what's going on with Trump that he looks dumb. And if you're confused by what I'm trying to say, FouseyTUBE is pretty much preaching all this, you know, stuff that he wants to be positive, get people together. You know, he wants to be the one like to explain what he's going through, to, you know, set a lesson, you know, learn to like all the youth that's going through it, you know, if they're getting bullied in school. And I understand it. Like I'm looking at it, I'm reading, and I'm just listening to this video, and I'm like, I can see that. But it's unfortunate that a lot of people watching your video, man, you're gonna get a lot of positive comments, but a lot of people are still gonna call you crazy. And that's only because they rather acknowledge all the foolishness that you've been a part of and not really recognize a lot of the good that you have done for YouTube. And that's the fucked up part. So there's a lot of people who suffer from mental illness on YouTube that I know of, but they've never made the choices you made to get yourself involved with a lot of fuck shit. And that's why when you make all these videos, I'm just like, dude, just stop making videos on this type of shit, because people are gonna look at you like you're more crazy, even though I know it's just that you really need to seek help. You said you stopped taking your medications. People who don't know about this, if you stop taking your medications, sometimes it can cause a worse trigger, or sometimes when you try to jump back on your meds, it doesn't work, and then they're gonna have to give you more drugs, and you're gonna be more of a zombie. A lot of shit happens. He's gotten himself into a lot of bullshit, and a lot of people are gonna try to defend him. And they're gonna try to say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But understand, if you type in FouseyTUBE on YouTube, you'll see a lot of negative shit. Let's try to type in FouseyTUBE on YouTube and see if there's just one page of just happy shit. There used to be a time where FouseyTUBE, all you seen was his experiment videos and just all this craziness where everyone just loved FouseyTUBE. But now it's like the thing to do is to make negative videos on him and shit on him. And for that, he has gotten himself involved in that kind of lane. It's sorry to say this, but you are not the face or that person that they're gonna, or that they, quote unquote, they gonna want to have represent that group of, those group of people who suffer from mental illness. So with him saying that I want to leave YouTube, and the fact of everything he's trying to get done is just not working out, don't think it's because you're just a failure. No, you have a negative stigma on your name. I just want to say that. But yeah, I'm out of here. It's your boy 3MG. If you guys disagree with me, please comment below. God bless. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'm out. Peace.